Hi, I'm very excited to welcome you to my new YouTube channel. I'm Nick and I'm an artist from Bristol, and I've started a YouTube channel just to share my work and sketchbooks and all that kind of thing. So I'm starting off with a sketchbook tour. I've got a few sketchbooks from the past few years, so I thought I'd start with a tour of all of those sketchbooks up until now, and then give you a little tour of my home studio and some of my latest work as well at some point. But I'm going to start off with a sketchbook tour. So this starts in from around 2022, I think, is when I first started doing sketchbooking, and then I've continued that up until now. Had a little bit of a break from doing too much sketchbooking over the last year, as I've been pregnant and had a little boy. But now I'm trying to get back into it again. So yeah, that's it. So very excited to share with you my sketchbooks, and I hope you enjoy. This page was from Katie Wood's like shadows and things, and I do really love that one. It came out quite well actually. Some swatches of some things. So this is. Let me just check I'm recording properly. Let's move it that way a bit. So this is called. Sorry, it's a bit dusty. A flame tree sketchbook. I got it in a little bookshop somewhere, possibly Scotland. I'm not sure, I can't remember now. But I really love these sketchbooks because they've got like I don't think it's real leather, but like a soft cover, leathery cover. They also have like I don't know if you can see it very well, but you can't really see it when it's a bit thicker now with the work in it, but they have like floral patterned edges, and the pages are just like a crisp white colour. So I think this is the first one that I really started to get going with. I'll skip the first couple of pages because they were not the best. So that was some writing I did. So this was from, it must have been around 2022, I think. Beginning of 2022. And I don't really know what I was doing here. Just some scribbles, just trying to draw a bird. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, March 2022. This page was wanting to make a like a tote bag. So I used to do a crochet club with a couple of friends, and I really wanted to make a tote bag for us all to keep all of our crochet things in. So I was just messing about with that, trying to do flowers that look like crochet flowers and things, but never really got round to doing anything with it, unfortunately, but it would be quite nice to do someday. This was a little fox picture that I did with crayons, colouring pencils, I think. I actually really quite like this one. He just turned out quite cute. I think it was watercolour and colouring pencils, and I was just having a little bit of fun and scribbling and seeing how it turned out, really. Some more crochet club, some ideas. I tried to do a little hedgehog in the same sort of, with the same sort of vibe, I suppose, as the fox one, but I'm not too keen on that one. And again, just messing around with watercolours and doing sort of a florally, leafy, autumnal pattern there, I think. But this is quite early on from a while ago, so you can see I'm quite impatient, and I found it quite annoying, I suppose, that I couldn't do, it never came out how I wanted it to, but you can see there's a bit of progress now with my work. Some more crochet club. I was trying to do a picture of like a granny square on that one. Just painted over something there. Some more colouring pencils, some like flowers. And then another one that I tried to do like the fox with sort of a scribbly pattern, but I'm not really sure what happened to the badger's body. He's got two legs here, and then he's got, his body is kind of a bit strange, so I don't really know what I did there. I think
think this one was the first landscape that I did. This was with gouache paint. And it's a bit messy. It's definitely not the best, but it was a one that I did that I really felt really pleased with, and decided actually I really wanted to try doing landscapes some more. So you'll see now on my website and on my Instagram that I have done some more landscapes that I'm really proud of. So I've got some canvases that I've painted, and I'll do those in another video. So I wanted to do sort of like a little sort of studio tour. It's not really, I don't really have a studio, but I have like a room at home that all my work's hanging up in. So I thought I'd do a little tour of some of the canvases that I've painted, because they'll go up on my website at some point and they'll be up for sale, and I've got prints of those as well. So yeah, so that was that landscape, and I really liked the colours. I was really like splashy with it, but I love the colours in that one. This page I'm actually really proud of. This butterfly I really love. I decided to do a pencil crayon butterfly, and then I did the leaves, and then I thought it might look really nice with a background. So I sort of did a crosshatch colouring of the background, and I really like how that turned out. I quite like that sort of style, and I do really love these little birds and these moths as well. I really love moths, so I'd like to do more paintings of things like that at some point. I'm not really sure what I was doing with that one. Some mushrooms. Chickens. I love this page, these chickens. There's one chicken, I think it was this one that had dodgy legs, but I really love how some of these chickens turned out. And I really love this little one here. Sorry, you can hear my little baby in the background. He's sat with me and doing the sketchbook tour with me. Yeah, I think I really love these little, I love all of them. I really love chickens. I've always wanted to have chickens in my house, but I've never ever done it. One day I might get my own chickens. Some more practice for the Crochet Club bag. Looking back at it now, I actually really quite like them, like with the crosshatch. I was trying to make it look like sort of a crochet pattern or a crocheted flower. So it would really be cool to, I'd really love to start up our crochet club again and do that for my friends. It would be a really lovely gift to give them, a little crochet club bag. This was planning for something, but I can't remember what it was. I think possibly some paintings that I did sell. I'd sold some originals. Moth painting, not really sure what I was doing here. Again, I was very scribbly in this sort of stage. This, I feel like I did a course or something about putting faces on things. So I was trying to draw lots of seeds with faces, and so I was copying all the seeds that I've got. The cornflower one's my favourite because cornflower seeds have got these little like hairy bits that come out. But that's not really my kind of style. I don't really do sort of like characters or anything like that. This page is terrible. I'm not really sure what that is. Again, that was a thumbnail for a painting that I've done. That was just messing around with, I've got a jar of poppies. That was just copying. This was part of a class. I think I used gouache and coloured pencils here and pencil outline. But again, I feel like looking back at these sketchbooks, I can really feel like I really just didn't know what I liked or what I was doing. So it's all worthwhile work, but not really. I guess it's gotten me to where I am, but I don't look at these and think, oh, I like those. I do like this one. So this was a little deer asleep in a rainforest, and again very scribbly, a bit like the fox. I was trying to do a few like the fox one, I suppose. And it would be fun to revisit it and sort of do it a bit, give it a bit of a better feel to it, a bit more refined, I suppose. But I do really love these. I love the colours in this one again. This was just playing with patterns, so some grapefruit patterns. This is one of my favourite pages actually. So this was a picture I think I found on Unsplash or somewhere, and it was just like a wildflower field with some trees in the background, and I wanted to have a go at just looking at the colours rather than the actual things. So I was just scribbling the colours, and I actually really love this page, and again would love to revisit this kind of thing with but refine it slightly, so have more vibrant colours, because I feel like this bit is really lovely and the pinks are really lovely, but the greens are a bit washed out. So I'd like to try and revisit that kind of style again. That would be really fun. This page was again playing with patterns. This was with some Caran d'Ache Neo Colour 2s. I think I must have just gotten them, so I was like having a play around with those. And again, really scribbly, but I do like a scribbly picture. This was playing with collage, so I was doing a little butterfly. I love the collaged wings, but I must have gotten impatient and just scribbled the background. Again, playing with some more collage. I like this guy, the colours in this one, but the others I'm not too. This would be really cute or something. A little mouse. I think this one I remember doing. I put a thing out on Instagram, like a question box, and said like, what shall I draw next? And someone said a mouse, so I did a little harvest mouse. Again, in the same kind of style as the fox and the deer and the badger. This was the rest of them as well. So some people said to do leopard print and bunnies, a duck. The leopard print, it just came out. I wanted to do a multicoloured leopard print, but it just came out like kisses. So yeah, not the best page. This was I was trying to do a picture of my garden, but I did it with gouache again, and I just don't get on with gouache paint. I can't get the colours right, and I don't know what it is about gouache, but I just can't get the colours right with it. This is another favourite page actually. I really like how this one turned out. I love this flower with the kind of like swoopy scribble petals, and I love how these came out. I'm not usually much for line drawing and black and white, but I actually really love, like, combined with all the colours and the little scribbles on this page, I love how that one turned out. This was trying to do a picture of my blossom tree in my garden and my washing line. I think I was just drawing bits in my garden. So yeah, just another scribbly page. Wedding invites. So this was just before our wedding, and I was trying to get our wedding invites done, but I don't really know. I ended up doing something completely different with some sort of like flowers. I'll show you those at some point. This was a Patreon video with, I want to say Emma Carlisle, but I can't remember. And this was like a timed drawings with, I think it was trying to make a story with, you could pick, I think you could pick and then you could make a story out of it. So I did sort of like people alone, and then there was one where there was like people walking and a fox, and I wrote, we walked this earth alone but together we are all connected. I think I was going a bit deep then. Just a swatch page, so I bought some new Tombow markers, some Posca pens, which I don't actually like using Posca pens anymore, some new colours, and I've put Holbein, but I don't really know. I think those are acrylic gouache paints. This was an Emma Carlisle one, I think. So again, some timed drawings based on some pictures of like a seaside. I do like how the lighthouse turned out. I like this bit of it. But again, Tombow markers. I do like a Tombow marker, but I can never get it to look. I see lots of other artists using them, and they just look beautiful, and I haven't quite grasped it yet. This was just another fun scribbly page, so I just did some watercolour, multicoloured leaves, and some neo colours, and then it's a really relaxing thing to do, painting sort of like things on a page and then using a marker pen and just colouring the background in. It was just a really relaxing thing to do, like having a colouring book really. This was more wedding invites, I think, but again, you can see my impatience where I've just slapped the paint on. This was, I think, another Patreon video that I got interrupted and I didn't actually manage to finish. This was Emma Carlisle. So it was draw something small, but draw something that's small and then draw it really big. And I had some animal earrings that I got for my birthday, and they were sort of like this big. So I drew them big, but they're really like basic little animal shapes. So the pictures came out a bit funny, but this guy's quite fun. And then this was to draw something that's big and then keep drawing it smaller and smaller and smaller. And I really love this one. So this is like a fake plant that we've got. So I drew it this size and then got smaller and smaller. And I actually really love this little tiny one. And then this one was using one material. So I used Neo colours. And I had a necklace that's got the little chaffinch on. And then this was my nan's brooch. So my nan passed away a few years ago. And I kept one of her brooches. And she's got this owl on a moon brooch that I absolutely love, so I drew that one. This is a terrible page. This was some, I want to say otters. That's a weasel. I don't really know what I was doing here. Again, I can see a lot of impatience in a lot of these pages, and the frustration of not being able to do, like being able to get what's in my head onto the page. But that is what a sketchbook is all about, so. Scribbling some bugs with watercolours. This again, I was just being totally impatient, trying to do some landscapes. This page I like this bit of this page. This was a landscape challenge. I can't remember who it was with again though. I really wish I'd written some more of these things down so that I could remember what challenges I did, because I signed up to a lot of Patreons a little while ago and did a few videos over the last sort of year or so. So this time last year I was really poorly because I was pregnant with my son, and I haven't really been able to do a lot of art at all over the last year, so I had to stop some of the Patreons that I'd signed up to, but I've just signed up again to Emma Carlisle, so I'm hoping to catch up on a few of those soon too. I've actually written nope here because I don't know what I was doing there. I was thinking of doing a gardening series with quotes, so I wrote out a load of quotes. I love this page. I don't like the way I've written this, but I love the flowers. And again, I wanted to try and recreate that for a print, but I never got round to it. I do a lot of things where I put my ideas down and I've got all these big ideas, but I never really get round to actually putting it into action. But I am working on it now, so I've nearly finished my website. I've been focusing a little bit too much on perfecting, that's not even a word, on perfecting my website, and I really need to just get it out there, and I can work on that as I go. So I'm hoping to get that done in the next week or so, get that out there, and actually bring some of my ideas to life. So this was just a couple more gardening ideas. So now we're at May, so that was March and April, and now we're into May. I love this little guy. I think that was a little hummingbird picture that I copied. I don't draw people, but I wanted to attempt it, and it came out alright, but it's not really for me, drawing people. I like this one. So I actually this was practicing some roses. I bought a neon paint, and I really wanted to do a neon rose painting, and some of them I just couldn't grasp, most of them really, but this one I really love how this one came out. And I did actually make a painting, and I think I sold the original of this, sort of refined it and sold it as an original. I'm not too sure what I was doing there. I think I prepped some pages and then was trying to paint over it, but it didn't really go too well. This was attempting to use acrylic paints like watercolours, so I like this little guy, and I like how this kind of came out, but again, just messing about really. This one looks quite nice. this was another Patreon video. So this was lighthouses. I'm not really sure what I was doing here, but this one was quite lovely. Some more birds that I did again. I think that was in Neocolor 2's. Don't want that one. Attempting a still life. I think I love the vase and I love this bit. This came out quite well, but I think I must have given up halfway through. Some more paints. This was trying to do. There's like a picture of a house in a forest. I was trying to do. I did the house in pencil crayon and then paint around the outside, but I think it really disappears. So it would need to, like, if I was to do that again, I would do this in paint and do it in brighter colours that make it stand out a bit more. This came out, this is quite sweet, a little landscape, a woodpecker. And that, other than some scribbles, was pretty much it for this page. Oh, this was a fun one actually. So this was for in Christmas 2022, so a couple of years ago, well, a few years ago now, I was doing a few markets and things, and I signed up to a few markets and I wanted to have a little Christmas collection, and I really love how this one turned out. It didn't manage to sell as much as I'd hoped, and I was hoping that there would be more interest in it. But again, it's something that I could revisit, and I would like to repaint what I did with these. So these were nutcrackers, but animal nutcrackers, and I did a watercolour painting of them, but I feel like it could definitely be refined and bolder. But the colours, I love the colours, and I love the idea, and I did some little cards and little Christmas cards with each of the different animals in there in the forest, and they put up fairy lights. So again, I'd love to do that, like to redo that and go with that kind of theme again, because it's just, I just loved it. So perhaps if I've got time this year, we'll see. So yeah, so that was it really. That was the end of 2022. So quite a nice way to finish that sketchbook actually. It's kind of a 2022 sketchbook. But again, so the Flame Tree sketchbook. I bought another one because I really loved this one. So I bought this yellow one, and this one had sunflowers on, and got a little calcifer sticker. I think maybe this was on our honeymoon that I bought this, and I think I bought this one. I think I just found this one on Amazon because I couldn't find the website for this. I think the Flame Tree sketchbooks, they had lots of other products and things on their website, and it was a bit confusing, so I ended up finding it on Amazon. I actually might order another one of these because I do really love this sketchbook. So in here we have, oh, this one I really love. So this was part of an Emma Carlisle Patreon video, and it was about creating like a little concertina kind of picture, like a little story picture. So I went with a mouse, and he is on some flowers. So I did different flowers behind each one, and then like a little bush, and then did those flowers on the back of there as well, and then a bigger sort of lilac tree. So we actually have this lilac tree in our garden, so that was kind of my inspiration, and then did the same on the back. I didn't finish it actually. I meant to do a picture on there and a picture on there, but it's just so sweet. Like you can just put it up somewhere and have it sort of like this, and I thought, or like a, oh no, I think that's why I didn't do it, because I was going to use it as a birthday card, and you could write like your birthday card message in there. So I might actually make some more of these and use them as birthday cards, but do it, I did it on paper, so I think I might do it on thicker paper. But I just really love how that one came out. So this was trying out some of the, oh, I want to say Dr. something. They're like watercolour inks, I think, and they're in little glass pots. I can't remember, my brain is gone today. So I was trying out these, but these are paints that I absolutely do not get on with at all. So they're like really bright, vibrant, lovely watercolours, but the I can't get them to mix. I don't know if I had a dodgy batch because I got them for my birthday, and a lot of them had like really, they just had like bits in them. It was really strange, but I never reordered them because I just didn't get on with them at all. Lovely vibrant colours, but just not for me. This was an attempt at a self-portrait. So another person that I follow on Patreon, or I need to re-sign up for it at some point, was Sophie McPike, and she does lots of really lovely colourful self-portraits, and I wanted to try and do something myself. It sort of looks like me, but not really. But it was a good first attempt. This is just a very scribbly, you know when you're on the phone and you scribble pictures, it was kind of like one of those, just kind of mindlessly scribbling. Oh, these are them here. So this was the ones I was trying out. I don't know what it is about them, but the colours are just not quite for me. They're almost a little bit too... I think I prefer a muted colour. I think that's what it is. This was... I prepped a couple of backgrounds with some watercolour, I think it was, or it might have actually been these inks, and then tried to do some drawing over the top with the Neo colours. I really do like how that one came out. That was a dahlia that I've got in my garden. I think I'd taken a picture of it, so I tried to redraw it. Please excuse my little one. Again, you can see that I've scribbled and rushed it. Oh, this was a Patreon video, so 3-minute mushrooms. I went too big. I didn't have time to do it properly. No, this was an odd orange. I think this was an odd orange. So there's a lady who makes beautiful sketchbooks. I've yet to buy one. I'd really like to buy one. But she does some drawing challenges every now and then. And this was one of those. So that was 3 minutes on that, 4 minutes on this one. I think this was like an honesty plant. 7 minutes on this one. Have more. 7 minutes on that one. 7 minutes on those. I think I was just trying out different things. So trying out watercolours, new colours, Tombow pens. So I've spent a lot of time experimenting with things and seeing what I like. Don't like this. I don't really know what I was doing there. Again, just experimentation. A penguin that I drew for one of my sons. I think I'd asked them what they wanted me to draw, and they said penguin. So that did a little pencil crayon penguin. This really reminds me of work that I did at like GCSE A level many years ago. This was part of, I paid for a course with a lady called Rachel, and she has beautiful acrylic paintings, and it was a course all about using different colours than what you actually see, and how to sort of swap out the colours that you see. So we had to mark out the darks, the mid-tones and the light tones, and then what you would do is kind of pick a different colour, but just make sure that it's dark, a mid-tone or a light or a pale tone, and then you can kind of like learn how to swap it out. This was some pens that I got. These were alcohol markers, I think, which I don't really ever use. These were testing out some pencil crayons that I think I got for my birthday. I'm not too sure. I just watched the Barbie movie, so I drew a picture of Barbie there. Not too bad, not too bad. I'm not sure what that is. This was actually from another page. No, I think Odd Orange. I really need to write these things down. I'm going to start writing them down from now on. But this was having a go at recreating stamps. So this was quite fun. This was just in watercolours. I do quite like how that one turned out. I'm not sure what that was. This was a bird project that I did. So there's a couple of artists, and they run a bird challenge. And I'll make sure I tag all of these people on Patreons and everything below in my in the info box. But this was a bird challenge. I can't remember when it started, but I did loads of paintings of birds, and this was a little finch that I did. So he's kind of cute. Not great, but kind of cute. Another just ideas page for something, not sure what. Doing some colour wheels. Oh. I'll try out some neons. I do love a neon pink. Okay, I think I have to sort the baby out, so I will be back. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, so that was just some colour wheels, some ideas. I should have labelled these so that I could just take them to the good pages. This was part of the like switching the colours out thing again with the artist that I said about. So we had to kind of like cut off, take a picture of your face and cut it in half, and then I did one half with sort of neutral colours and then one half with switching it out for brighter colours. It's not the best, it's very, I've mixed the colours a bit much, and instead of just sort of like putting each colour on in blocks, I've kind of mixed them up a bit, so it's not the best, but it is really quite cool. I love how the eye came out here with the dark blue, and I feel like the lips came out quite well. And that was just swatching the colours as I went. Skip some of these pages. We went to Wales, North Wales, in sort of summer 2023. So that was just a little page just documenting some of the things, but I rushed a lot of this one. I do like how these came out. We saw some amazing, I put swifts, but they were actually swallows, which I'm hoping to paint on a picture for our house, which is what's done on the next page here. So this was just a real quick sort of practice page for some paintings that I want to get up in our living room. I've actually gone with a different colourway, but I think I might paint over it because I do love this blue and green, and I feel it would look better in our living room as we actually repainted one of the walls. So I feel like these colours would actually look a lot better. So I might have to look at those today because I do really want to get those finished and up on the wall. This page was from Katie Moody Patreon challenge. This was really well timed actually. So I signed up to Katie Moody's because we were just about to go on our beaver camp, and her challenge was all about camping. So I just felt like it was a really good one to do to get me in the mood ready for camping. So these were like all timed pictures. I really love how this one came out actually. I was quite pleased with this one. I love the cups. I think I did either acrylic or gouache here and then coloured over it with, and then did like the things with the detail with a coloured pencil. And I'd love to try and do a few more things like this because I like how that turned out. It's really fun to revisit your sketchbooks because you realise like you see just snippets of things that you like. Like there's a lot of stuff in here that I'm not pleased with, but it's all about doing all these things. You know, you have to do all the things that you don't like to find the little bits that you do like and kind of expand on those. Oh, this is one I'm really proud of actually. So this was a Sophie McPike, and this was, I think it was sort of like a 1920s sort of vintage photograph of like showgirls. And like I said earlier, I'm not really I don't draw people. I'm not very good at people. I can never really get the proportions right. But this one just somehow came out really well. So I was really proud of how the face turned out. Like I just did it with the Tombow and just sort of sketched it. But I was just really proud with how that came out. And then this was some other ones. Again, I did this one, was really pleased with it, and then went to this one, could not get the proportions right. Cut off her feet. She's too sort of wide here and squat in the face. This one was quite cool though, but again, she should have been taller really. But this was a really cool, she had a really beautiful dress on with sort of like a tassel-y thing and like a cone headpiece. It was really, really cool. This was Katie Moody again. I really love these. So I do like a really scribbly. Do you like them too? My baby is talking to us in the background. I really do love a scribbly drawing. I just love when you just let go and just scribble, and I love the colours in it. So this is one that I'm really, really pleased with. And then these, that's probably my favourite one, but these, I do like how they came out, and mixing the watercolours and inks. I think this might be an acrylic ink actually, with the Neo colours, just the textures that you get. I just really love it. Oh, I was thinking about doing something with my star sign. Or maybe I was trying to think of a tattoo or something. Couldn't even remember how to spell Aquarius. Oh, this was a fun one. So I was trying, I really love anything to do with fairies and, you know, like magical forests. It's just, I really love it. When I was younger, my mum used to buy me loads of fairy books, and I loved the Flower Fairies books. And I don't think I have any more now, but I'll have to. I love going into old bookshops. There's one in particular that we go to in Loo in Cornwall that has loads of beautiful books, and I'm going to do a video actually on all of the books that I've gotten in there, because every time we go on holiday there I always have to go in this bookshop and buy books, and we've just come back from there a couple of weeks ago and I've bought more books, so I definitely need to do a video on that. But yeah, so this page was just doing some scribbles. I think I actually traced a picture of myself. It doesn't look like me at all, but I had traced it, so I don't really know what happened there, and tried to turn myself into a fairy. And then I went from that to, I attempted to copy it over here, and it looks different again, but I was trying to create a fairy. So that was just a bit of fun. I'm not really going to do anything with that. Folktale week. I've written stuff here that's to do with a leak that we had in our house. So yeah, a little bit of personal notes on there. Folktale week is something that happens in November, and I really, really wanted to do it. I've wanted to do it for ages, and I got off to a good start, and then I think my job and my work got in the way, so I never really managed to do it. But I had ideas there. It's going to be about a fox, because I love foxes. But yeah, never really ended up. I did loads of notes and things. I wrote a poem and everything about Mother Nature. Sometimes it feels really cringy looking back at stuff you've written. But I've written this poem. The lost in a world of dark and alone, no sunshine, no rain, where nothing could grow. She set down her staff, her magic ran wild, for she was her own Mother Nature's child. I must have been trying to do something about Mother Nature. Oh, and I feel the creep fox. There's a fox that used to, I don't know if they're still about these days, but when we sort of first moved in, there used to be a fox that would just sit at the side of the road and stare at you, so we nicknamed him Creep Fox. Oh, Peachtober. Peachtober, I do this all the time. I start these challenges and then life gets in the way. I've got kids, and I'm on maternity leave at the moment, but I was working, and I really love these challenges, and I really want to finish one day. So I think I got to Dream, but B was the first one that I did, and I absolutely love how this turned out. I've actually got it here, and there's a video on my Instagram. You can see my light in there. Try and get it away from the light. But I cut out all these little squares of, they're like raw canvas, and then I frayed the edges a bit, and then I painted on them with acrylic ink. And I'm actually doing, hopefully, a calendar this year with this kind of thing on, and I'm going to do a bigger version of this one. But yeah, I love how this came out. It sort of looks like a little tapestry, and just love it. And the Peachtober prompts for this year have just come out, so maybe I'll do it again. Maybe I'll carry on with the same theme and see how I get on. But I could maybe just do every other one, give myself half a chance. I don't know, I'm not sure, we'll see. This was an Emma Carlisle one. Love this one, frogs. Jen, to my mum-in-law, if you see this, I'm sorry. My mum-in-law absolutely hates frogs. But this is I really love frogs. I really loved doing this one. And I love how they turned out. They're so cute. Not this one is funny. This was a little toad. This is my favourite one. This was a tree frog, I think. But just so much fun. They're so fun to draw, because you're just basically drawing green blobs and then adding the detail. It's great. And then some more, just a strange orange frog. And this one that was in a pond. And then there was a pig one. So we did a pig one. That was fun. Not so fun drawing pigs. They're much harder. Okay, sorry, I'm kind of whizzing through this because I've got so many, and I'd like to do sort of like all of the sketchbooks that I've got up until now to kind of do a big catch up to start with, and then do more of a regular sketchbook update. Although I'm hoping to do more, but I don't, this is like years worth of sketchbooks. I know lots of people that do, you know, a sketchbook a month or something, but yeah, I seem to manage to fill one a year. But this one was a Katie Moody one. This was, I think this was like a National Trust place or somewhere. This was really lovely to do, apart from the people. So I attempted this. I love this tree. I love how this tree came out. But the original, I don't know if I want to show you or not. Oh, I tried to do a close-up. I'm going to show you because it's terrible. I could not draw. I told you I can't draw. It's a fluke. When I draw a person that looks good, it is a fluke. So I folded that page over, and we're just going to forget about that one. And then I tried to do it small here, but I just couldn't do that either. But I really love how this tree turned out, so that was good. Oh, this was a Sophie McPike, like a random characters. They're all a bit strange, and I think I tried to do it with coloured pencils, and I can't remember. I think it was like you chose like the type, like a person, and then a thing, and then you had to merge them. So this was like a fish person and a snail person. Yeah. This one was fun. I'd gone back to an Emma Carlisle Halloween one because I think this was must have been October time. And I was in the mood for something spooky, and I really love how this one came out. So I used acrylic inks and neo colours, I think, on this one, and yeah, I was really chuffed with that. I like this bit here could be something really cool for like a book. Another thing to add to the list of things that I really want to do is I'd love to create a children's book. Again, something that I've wanted to do for a long time. But just trying to hone my skills, I suppose, before I can move on to anything like that. This was a different idea for Peachtober, actually. I was going to create like a little town and do like lots of little cottages but then base it around the prompt. So it was going to be like a little cottage with a beehive, and then this was going to be Cosmos, so there'd be a little cottage with the with like the night sky in the background, but I didn't go further with that one. But it's a cute idea. This was Bears and Hedgehogs with Emma Carlisle. This guy's my favourite. His crazy eyes, that's how I feel most days. And I've got a bear looking like he's on a stripper pole, so that's great. This guy's really cute. I do like how this one is. A little cute little character. And I do quite like this one. I did do, it's the next page actually, there was a like at the end picture where you spend a bit more time on it, and I do love how that one came out. He's quite cute as well. So this was my end painting, and I had a lot of time to work on it. I think I did acrylic paints and then some neo colours on the top to get sort of like the shadows and things, and I do really love that one. It came out quite well actually. Just some swatches of some things. So I bought some more neon paint, and I bought a big oil stick, which I've actually used quite a lot in some of my bigger art. This was the sketch for the bee. That's really chuffed with it. And then I sketched out some more. So I managed to do Cosmos. I think I did 3 for Cosmos in the end. And then I did sweet peas with a little bee on. The grub, I did a little bird. So that was actually from a photograph that I took a few years ago of a blue tit in our garden that had a little bug in its mouth. I don't know if I did that one. I did Eye of the tiger. I did a tiger's eye on one of the canvases. Crater, I did the moon, I think. And so I actually sketched out some more, but I didn't actually do any more of these, but I did do this shark one for blue, and I did do Dream, I think. I don't think I've got a sketch of it, but for Dream I did like a pink background with clouds on it, and they were sort of like white and purple, and then there were some stars on it as well, which I actually really love that one. That one came out quite well. That was just writing some notes. This was from Sarah Dyer's Patreon, which was, there's a model for life drawing, but I didn't get on very well with that one. I think the materials I was using, I'm not pleased with them. I tried to do a pencil sketch, but I think I got interrupted again and couldn't finish it, so it didn't come out too well. This was some more for Folktale Week, I think. Some thumbnails for that. This one I really love, because I was doing like a fox dreaming of a greener world. And I think this was supposed to be Mother Nature, and she had like a cloak, and then everything was grey, but everywhere she went then turned to green. I think that was the idea. Oh, I love this one. This was Frances Ives' Patreon, and this was an autumnal theme. And I did use gouache for these, but I used, instead of acrylic gouache, which is the one that I can't get on with, I used a watercolour gouache, and then did pencils on top. And I really love, I didn't leave enough room for the crow on that one, but I really love how, particularly this one with the ivy going up the statue, I love how that came out. And then there was like a graveyard one that we did. This was some more thumbnails for the Folktale Week. What's this? Yeah, so you could see the cloak. It was like her cloak was coming alive and making everything green again. That was just some more swatches. This was an idea. So I work at forest school, and I had this idea. So in the park that we work at, there is an artist or a woodwork man, I don't know what you call him, who created lots of sculptures in the park from fallen trees, and he carved out animals into the trees. It's really beautiful. And I had this idea to do a children's book based on those animals. Still something that I'd really love to do, because it would be such a lovely thing for the forest school to have, that they could then take around, like they could take the children to the sculptures. So something that could be a really good idea to come back to. But it was kind of, I wanted to do something about how the animals would, come alive at night, and then they'd go back to their woodland carving, and then they'd be frozen for the day, so you don't actually get to see them, just to make something like a bit of magic out of it. So we'll see, maybe I'll come back to that. I feel like this was a video that I did. No, this was testing out brushes. So I was just testing out some brushes and what marks I could make with those. This was from something. This was part of a course. I think trying to figure out who you are as a creative, or a creator. And I think that's it. And then I haven't actually finished this sketchbook, so I have got some pages left, but you can see here the paper's really white and soft. It's a bit thin, so you do get a lot of crinkly bits if you use watercolour, and if you coloured with a pen too much it would go through the paper. But they are really lovely books, and I love a soft cover book. I like that with a notebook as well, a soft cover. So that is that one. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed it. It was a bit of a long one. In the end, that was about an hour, and that wasn't even all of my sketchbooks yet. So I'll get on to those a little bit later. So if you would like and subscribe, that'd be great. My next video will be sort of a vlog of the last couple of months with our holiday in, and just the things that I've been working on, like my calendar and things. So a little behind the scenes of that. So look out for that. That'll be in the next couple of weeks. But thank you